Okay, I had my line in the water. We just stopped at this hole. I put the line in probably 15 seconds, and it just hit the bottom, and I was checking it. And we got a steelhead on. We got a good one. It's a good size one, John. How big do you think it is? Now watch. 7.5, 8 pounds. Okay, watch right here, because it's liable to jump. What's that?
Get that rod out of the corner there, guys.
Okay, here you go.
Oh!
Oh, that's a nice one.
Nice fish. Kathy, bring that rod.
Nice bigger. Look at it. Let it go here. He's pulling the drag out.
That's okay. All right.
It worries me when they're so close to the boat.
Fred, why don't you get up there in the center?
Yeah. Up in the center? Okay. There he goes, taking a little run. All right. Look at him. Woo!
It didn't take long, did it?
Oh, boy, that thing was... No, he hit it. He really hit it good, I'll tell you.
You let him take it just right.
Yeah?
You know, that rod has never lost a fish. That's my rod.
This rod is never...
Don't put a jinx on it.
Nothing like pressure. You know, I'm a lot warmer now.
Yeah, it's funny how warm
Everybody is.
Yeah, it does.
If he starts going over that side back up just a little bit, and I'll go across.
What is the temperature, Emil?
It's about 19.
19? The thing is, I'm not used to winter.
Neither am I.
This is the first winter day that I've been out. Well, last week you guys had it, what, in the 40s?
Oh, yeah, it's been up in the 30s and 40s every day, you know.
Oh, boy.
Let me get out of the
No, he's not ready yet.
He's almost ready.
He's almost ready. I'm ready to get him in the net.
We got that brush down there, so we're going to have to hustle him, or I'm going to have to move out.
Okay, we're going to...
Just take it easy. If he wants to go, let him go. But if he wants to come up, bring him up.
Oh, here...
Come up.
Look at him moving around.
Does he look like he's getting close, John?
He's right behind the boat, but he
Okay,
ain't
I'll
up
go
yet.
then.
Okay.
All right, bring him up
Now,
easy.
back up, Fred.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready? Okay.
Uh-oh. Ooh,
Oh, no, he's not ready yet.
Like that. Watch him on that spot there.
Yeah.
Like that cold water.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, come on.
Do that again. Just back.
Okay, just one more time. One more time.
Nice fish.
Let
What a
him
nice
go.
fish. Come on, babe. Yeah! All right.
All right. Oh, that feels good.
He did all by his lonesome.
You bet.
Is it okay?
You ain't that a pretty male?
It sure is.
Can't get much
Ah.
better than that.
Well, you know, this really speaks well for Emil Dean and
Yeah.
St. Joe River steelhead fishing. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah, we're in the brush.
Yeah.
There he is. Good. Well, congratulations. I caught this steelhead trout this past Monday morning on the St. Joe River. A cold day, but a good day. And we'll continue fishing with Captain Emil Dean in just a moment because it's Thursday night and time for Michigan Outdoors. This took no time at all.
Nothing to it, is there?
Yeah, but yesterday, how'd you do yesterday?
We didn't do very well yesterday.
Huh. Well, we got a good start right now.
Yeah.
What do you say, John? You say this is a skinny fish?
Yes, a thin fish.
Thin one?
Yeah.
But it's a male
Right.
by the coloration.
He's been in the river for a while, too. He's dark, see?
One thing for sure, he's a cold fish. You feel that right up next to your cheek?
Oh, that feels nice.
I tell you, that's cold. You gotta... There he is, the first one in the icebox. Hey, well, let's go inside. I got to warm my hands here.
Okay.
We can talk a minute. Oh, nice to get it where it's a little bit warm. Oh, I tell you, that's a cold fish. You got a paper towel up here? Oh. Well, does this look like it's going to be a good winter for steelhead?
Well, it's going to be one of the best we've ever had.
Why?
Mainly because of the weather. You know, we haven't had severe weather. We're normally frozen by now. In fact,
Okay.
our water temperature out there is about 36 degrees, where normally it's down 31.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, that fish is 31.
pretty close to it
I
now.
can tell that. Well, this is nice. You know, you have the heated cabin and all the windows around. You can see out. Well, we got fishing out here. We ought to introduce the folks that we have out there. There's, of course, our secretary, Kathy Beitler, production assistant. She wanted to go fishing on a day, so we said, come on down with Emil. We'll get some fishing. Ed Groves, producer, and John Clevenger. John goes out with you quite a bit, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, John and I fish quite a bit.
Well,
John's a native here.
and he knows his fishing. Well, my hands are almost warm enough to go out and try it again.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Wouldn't that be a corker if I got the second one, too?
Let's see you do it.
That'd be great. What we use for bait here is spawn, treated spawn. What do you do with this with borax?
Yeah,
Emil?
borax.
Borax on this. Take a chunk about this size. A good chunk, and you gotta hook it so it's through the membrane. Kind of tough on this, John. Sometimes it doesn't.
You get that membrane.
Yeah, that's good. Get it through another time. Oops.
The idea is to make a ball out of it.
Make a ball out of it. That's easy for you to say. You try to make a ball out of this.
If you get it flat, it'll spin up.
How's that look? Okay, that's not bad. Got a number 4 hook, little bell sinker on here, and that's how it's rigged. We'll go out and we'll drop it right. There's a hole here, a run, John? Right. And this is where the steelhead like to lay. So we let it down to the bottom and just wait for it to tap, tap, tap. That's what it did. Right off the bat. I should have one in about 15 seconds, John. Wouldn't that
You're lucky.
Wouldn't that just kill you?
That don't happen that way very often.
No, not very often. But, Emil, you've been getting 6-8 fish a trip, haven't you? I mean, the past couple of weeks?
Well, the past couple of weeks, but that's not the average by any means.
Not the average. What do you average? 2 or 3?
Average 2 or 3 fish a trip is pretty good.
Okay, well, we're on our way.
With 1 fish in the boat right off the bat, we didn't know if that meant we'd load the boat or it might be our last fish for the morning. With these temperatures, if the fish didn't want to bite, I wouldn't blame them. But steelhead fishing on the St. Joe will probably be reasonably good right through the spring. John Clevenger can usually catch them when nobody else can, and we had 2 other not as experienced but very eager anglers on board, Ed and Kathy. I hope both of them would boat steelhead for all they're going through, but me, I spent more time inside with Emil.
Well, Emil, you prefer a cloudy day like this or a sunshiny day? Which seems to be better?
Well, depending on water temperature, of course. Now, in the wintertime, when the water's cold, I like a sunshiny day.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, but the fish are more active in the sunshiny day in the wintertime when the water's cold. Now, in the fall or early spring after the water warms up, I'd rather have a cloudy day.
How many holes do you have here in the river? You fish a couple mile stretch?
I fish probably 5 or 6 miles, but there's, you don't fish the holes every day because a lot of days there'll be somebody else into them, so you have to kind of skip around them.
How often can you come back and fish the same hole? You rest it for an hour or what?
No, I usually go through a hole one time, and if I come up to a good hole I've been fishing, I see somebody there, I won't even fish it that day because the first guy through the hole's got the best chance at it.
Trout get a little spooky?
Well, they get a little spooky, and probably they might take the fish out of there ahead of you. Of course, if you take one fish out of a hole, the next day one will move in his territory, but there generally won't be 2 there in the same spot.
How do you find the holes in the? There's maps or charts you use?
Well, we've got maps and charts now to begin with. We run the river with depth sounders. We made up our maps and charts and determined the depths and found the holes. Then we determined which holes held the fish and which didn't.
Some of them don't hold fish?
No, some holes won't hold fish. If there's no structure in a hole, there won't be any fish in there.
Are there logs down there, or
logs and rocks and things of that sort?
That's what you want.
Right, definitely.
Fish lay behind that.
Now this time of year, now of course in the spring they go out on the gravel when they spawn, but now they're laying in the holes.
I think a smart fish, when the weather turns like this, would go down to Florida. I'd get down that Mississippi River and head south.
Of course, if you don't know any better, you stay here, I guess.
That's right. Well, we had one heck of a fall, though. The warm weather stayed until just a few days ago.
Yeah, this was the best year we've ever had. In fact, this is the coldest day we've had this year.
I wonder if it's going to be the coldest day of the winter.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. Boy, last year at this time, Tip-Up Town was going on, and it was... Did you fish then?
I was out of business by this time last year.
Oh.
Like the last 2 winters. By the first of the year, we had to hang it up.
Oh, yeah, there was 50, 60 below wind chill last year at this time of year.
Yep.
You might have a season all winter, though.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We'll go all winter now. Maybe we'll call some days off for cold days, but I don't think we're going to see as much ice as we've had in previous years.
Well, that's, at least from this standpoint, it's welcome. Winter sports and the ski people, it's kind of rough on them, but...
Well, I figure I should have my turn once in a while.
You deserve it. Well, it's about time to get out there again. I guess my hands are warm enough.
Okay, let's do it.
You can't fish too long.
Yeah, but you got to suffer about so much. You got to remember that.
I know. It's worth it, though. You catch fish like this.
That's what you call paying your dues.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Well, you wanted to come fishing. Get tired sitting in the office, huh?
Darn timing.
Oh, look, right back there.
Yeah, look at him.
Look back there, Dick. See if you can see
back
him.
down, I mean, we
Pull up
drifting
on it.
down. He's drifting way down.
There he is. You know, with a current like this, you're also fighting the current, and that fish lays himself sideways.
Oh, yeah. Boy, he is.
What's the biggest... Pulling the anchor up now, so we're drifting free. What's the biggest fish you ever caught before?
Bluegill.
A bluegill. This is a little bigger than a bluegill.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, you got to keep the rod tip up because what happens when the line is straight out, it puts a lot of pressure on the line, you can snap the line. But that rod is acting like a cushion there. I think the sun's coming up.
Can I, no?
I'm almost ready to take my jacket off and
get a suntan.
stretch out on the deck.
Get wind him in.
Well, okay, if you wind it, pull back. Take it up, pull it down.
Okay, and when
Okay,
it
now
goes down
crank
slack?
as you're letting the rod down. Crank fast.
Taking the slack, right?
Yeah, crank real fast. Yeah, now you're gaining some. Okay, so keep doing that. And now crank on the way down. There you go. That's the idea. Pull up. Now we're gaining on him. Hurry.
Isn't it great?
I like this. He's rolled up in the line. Yeah, okay, now what we're going to do, get this back up here. Swing over here, get a shot over here. Up of us, and then swing back and forth. Okay, Kat, now, this is the critical part, because this is when fish are lost.
Yeah, I know.
Now, yeah, he's rolled up in the line. Okay, now what you want to do, okay.
Right there.
Really, just a little more. Okay, now lean back, lean back, lean back. Hey, there we go. Well, Kathy, you jumped up and down a little bit right. There we go. We were proud of Kathy. That's a nice fish to us, but to her, it was a real trophy. The biggest fish she'd ever caught. Not every secretary would appreciate a fringe benefit like taking a day to fish for steelhead in the winter, but Kathy does. It's not a master angler-sized fish, but in our book, Kathy is definitely our master angler of the week.